What's up, everyone?
Wait, I was dancing.
Welcome into Mikey's Boardroom. I'm Mikey.
I'm Krista.
And this is our boardroom. Tonight we're going to do a review of Wrath of the Lich King. A pandemic-style board game.
Okay, is that what it says on there?
A pandemic system, not style. Dang it, I messed it up.
Yeah, you really did.
Sorry.
You
Anyways.
sounded like a fool.
It's not unusual.
I pity the fool.
Anyways, let's talk about World of Warcraft. This is a game where you're working together to complete different quests. You have a red zone quest and a purple zone quest, and you have a green zone quest. You're trying to complete quests. Completing all three quests allows you to defeat the Lich King. And the Lich King is basically just another quest card that you have to work your way through and complete that. You complete quests by contributing cards with a matching symbol, as well as rolling die. And when the die get fists, that allows you to advance in the quest. On the other side of it, you're drawing from an AI deck, and you're basically drawing locations where you're going to add these little scourge minions. And as you add them to the board, they start to pile up, and if they pile up too much, or if you have to place a fourth ghoul on a location, then it's an overrun and bad things happen. You advance the despair track, which is going to eventually lead to you losing the game. There's a scourge track that tells you how many cards you're drawing to place different ghouls between player turns. So lots going on to mess you up. There's these big abominations that spawn, and they actually chase you around the map. And so you're trying to move your way around the map using cards.
You messed up.
Sorry. Using cards and character abilities to defeat and kill different ghouls and abominations, to not let them stack up. And then you also have cards that allow you to heal and travel, and you can kind of work together. You can contribute cards. So if everybody's on one location, we can all contribute cards together. So you can kind of get raids going, dungeons going. That's the sort of theme with World of Warcraft anyways.
I didn't listen to a word you said.
I didn't think you did.
I heard ghouls.
Ghouls.
That was it.
Ghouls.
Yeah.
Ghouls.
And then you got me thinking about this thing that people are trying to say online right now. You say it with a New York accent. You say, they're selling coffee on the corner for a quarter.
They're selling coffee on the corner for a quarter.
You did it. Well, that's what I was thinking about the whole time.
Anyways, you get a bunch of different quest cards for variability. Well, not a bunch, but 3 of each color. And then, like I said, every character, there's 2, 4, 6, 7 different characters. They all have different abilities and actions that you can take that are different to kind of change up the gameplay. Whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how you play. That's a fairly good overview of it. We have a playthrough up, so you can go watch us play, and we kind of go into it more in depth there. But let's just talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, and then kind of give our overall thoughts and score on the game from there. So yeah, do you have anything you want to say first, or should I just dive right into it?
Just remind me of the score thing again, because it's been a long time since we've rated.
Well, let's cover the scores when we get to the scores.
Okay, fine.
Do this in.
I want to be thinking about it.
Do this in my way.
Good. Oh, damn. Can't argue with that.
So I said pros first. So any pros, any positives? What did you like? Anything specifically you want to highlight that you liked about this game?
I liked that it wasn't boring.
That's usually positive. It wasn't boring.
It wasn't boring.
And you find lots of games boring.
Yeah, I do. This game
lots of games boring. Yeah.
It didn't feel super monotonous and repetitive. It felt like there was a decent amount to do.
Yeah.
And it felt like you had to do it.
Exactly.
Like I wasn't just killing time, taking my turn. It was like this turn.
Every turn mattered.
Is so important.
Yeah, every turn mattered. And it was like every turn mattered, and no matter what you did, you felt like maybe you did the wrong thing. Maybe you made the wrong choice.
Just like life.
It's like, do I quest? Do I help you? Do I kill these things over here? So yeah,
yes.
I agree with that. It felt like balanced in that way. It was just like I always felt like I was at threat, and it always like felt like it was just the scourge was spreading, and it was like we had to act quickly, otherwise we were just gonna get overrun. And in our playthrough, spoiler alert, we got overrun. We really got overrun.
Yeah, I like that it feels like there's multiple things going on at once because you're dealing with the board, but in order to advance in the game, you have to finish the quests in order to fight
Exactly.
the
And
Lich King. So it was like there was just a lot going on.
Exactly.
Plus, if you run out of cards, or if you run out of ghouls,
Yep.
or abominations, there's just like a lot.
Everything keeps going up.
Yeah.
Everything ramps up. It just keeps ramping
Yeah.
up. And if you start to get behind,
You're
you're screwed. Like there's no catch up here, it seems like. But yeah, in each quest, that all different quests, or all the quests have different, what's the word I'm looking for? Like actions that you take after questing. So like this one is after each quest action here. One here on the space discards one card. That's one of the purples. Another one of the purples, if I had put this one down, it would have been after each quest action here, spawn one ghoul on the space. So there's always something to, when you quest, there's always a downside. You also always take damage when you quest or when you fight if you didn't kill them.
Magic, there's always a price. That's what all the movies tell me.
That's true. That's true.
The point.
Don't go buy a Ouija board. There is a price.
Do not go.
There's a price. Yeah, I agree 100% with what you said. Just like the puzzle that it presents of trying to make your way around and kill all the scourge before it rises up and destroys you. Balancing that between trying to complete quests and then also balancing that between trying to like avoid the abominations and just avoid everything like and then dealing with the quest actions that you have to take and the damage that you're always getting. And then combine that with ways to fight that with your different character abilities. It was just a really like fun, really fun to like do all that and work your way through that. Especially together, it's sort of open hand. We just lay our hands down. We can kind of look at each other's cards and like come at this together as a team,
Except when like I'm not gonna play for you.
Except when you
but that's the point.
Except when you quarterback me and you're like, you should do this and you should do that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And we lost horribly, so.
But we would have lost worse if it wasn't for me.
Okay, yeah, I can't disprove that, so I'll just say that you're probably right.
No, it's fine. I'm probably wrong.
Another positive for me was the AI deck. I liked how that worked, where
it was good.
When you're setting up the game, you reveal, I think, like 5 or 6 different locations, and that's where you put those initial ghouls. And as you play, you're revealing more and more Scourge cards, adding different ghouls to the different locations. And then once you get the Scourge Rises card, which is one of the cards you draw, you actually take everything you've drawn so far, shuffle it, and put it back. So every location that has a ghoul on it is going to get drawn again at some point. So you start looking and you're like, well, this one has, like, this spot has 3, and I know that I'm going to draw it at some point. So we need to make our way over here because, we just went through 10 cards. There's a 1 in 10 chance we're about to draw that. On top of the fact that you're always drawing multiple Scourge cards when you draw it. So it's like, it really gets down to it. Also the running out of the Scourge. Like if you don't kill Scourge, that's what happened in our playthrough. If you don't kill Scourge, you're gonna run out of Scourge and you're gonna need to place Scourge and you don't have it. And then lots of bad things happen there too. And that's gonna lead to you losing really quick. So it's definitely a balance of doing everything. But I thought the AI was fun. I thought it was fairly simple. The only negative for the AI for me was that you're doing it a lot. Like I take a turn and then I do the AI. She takes a turn and then she does the AI. You're doing it between every player's turn, which is why it makes it kind of difficult because it's going so much. But at the same time, it's done well, but it's just kind of doing it a lot. It kind of drags really on. By the end, you're just kind of like, okay, now I have to do the draw 2 year kind of spawn ghouls, activate abominations. Doing that kind of gets old towards the end. Any other positives you want to say?
I don't think so.
I really like the theme. I really like World of Warcraft. I used to play World of Warcraft. I thought this captured the theme well, and that, like I said, we can all go together and like play cards and help each other out and kind of quest together or like do the raid together or whatever. Or we can split up or even go 2 and 2 if you have enough people. But you split up. I just really like this system, how it all worked. Or the theme, how it all played in with kind of the World of Warcraft theme. I never played Pandemic, so I'm assuming that quests... I have no idea. I'm assuming that quests are like research that you have to do to like beat the virus, and then instead of Scourge, you're adding like outbreaks, and then outbreaks spread and stuff like that. So it's sort of the same. But I don't know. I just thought the theme of like it played really well in the World of Warcraft theme.
I have no idea.
My other positive is that the minis are like great. I thought for what they are, for what it is, a game you can get at Target. I really like the minis. I thought there was a lot of good detail. The Lich King. He looks like
a Lich King.
That's a Lich King. Yeah. They're sharp. They're sharp. You could do some
Not
damage.
into the whole demons, monsters thing, so...
But the minis, don't...
They are demons and monsters.
No, this guy is elf
What's
something.
another guy?
That girl's an elf something.
Mm-hmm. I don't really care.
You don't care about the minis?
No.
Okay, well, the minis are cool. The minis are cool. I like the minis. For a game that you can get at Target for like $40 or whatever, the minis are not bad. That's all my pros. Do you have any other pros?
I don't think so, other than it's not boring.
Okay.
So I'll take it.
That's...
It's not repetitive and it's not boring.
Your pro, I have a pro for this game. It's boring. It's not boring. I have a con for this game. It's boring. Boring, not boring. That's your reviews. You do a 5-minute review of all of our games.
Yeah, you almost
boring.
me in the face.
Sorry. I was angry.
You were.
All right, so let's talk about things we didn't like.
Okay.
So you start.
Kind of like how you were saying the AI, it's like a lot doing it every single time because it's just so hard. Yeah. Like there's just like no
it feels defeating
breathing room. Yeah,
exactly.
It's like,
no
why
breathing
am I finishing
room. That's
this
a
game?
great way to say it. It's like every time you get a leg up, you lose it.
You take two back. It's like one
gosh,
step forward, two back.
Exactly.
One step forward, two back.
Exactly. That is what it feels like. That is what it feels like.
That's my probably only thing, but
now,
maybe we were
we are coming. No. Well, that's possible. We are coming from a place where we never beat this game.
Yeah.
So that's where we're coming from. But
true.
It just feels very hard. But I like the challenge. I like the challenge.
I do too, actually. Yeah. I would play this again.
My only other thing is that by the time we're losing the game, or like the box says 45 minutes to an hour is what the box says. I feel like that is very under. Like I don't think like 45 minutes to an hour seems short. Like I think this game is going to run about an hour and a half for the most part.
Yeah, it just
what
depends.
It seems like
we kept getting screwed, and so we couldn't make any movement.
It's going to take longer on average, more than an hour, I think.
Probably.
I think it's going to take about an hour and a half. And so by that hour and a half mark, I think for what it is, it does get a little bit repetitive. Where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna go through all the actions. If I spawn ghouls, I activate abominations. Oh, look, we can't do this because of this. We're gonna have to move the despair track, move the scourge marker. Towards the end of the game, it starts to feel repetitive. For the main chunk of the game, I would say that it feels fine. But right towards once it hits that hour and 15, hour and a half mark, I'm kind of like, okay, I've been doing these same things,
it's so funny that you feel that for this game, and I don't. But I feel it for like the other games, and you don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like for me, this is why, because this feels like a checklist. Like I know what needs to be done, and it's like a to-do list.
You can
I can
go
cross
through
this off and cross this off, which is the same reason I liked Loop, and you didn't. Like it just felt like I could see what needed to be done, and I could go through and do it.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that's why.
To me, like, if you asked me as we're playing this between 45 minutes and an hour, if I like what I thought, I'd be like, this is great. Like, I don't feel any repetitive. Like, this is awesome. We're moving. Like, it's hard, but we're moving. But like I said, between that hour 15, hour and a half mark, I get to the point where I'm like, okay, this has officially gone on a little bit too long, and I'm kind of ready for it to be done. So maybe with repeated playthroughs. Yeah. And just playing it more, and maybe even with more people, I don't know. Yeah. It'll kind of go down a little bit and get into that window of perfection. But to me, it runs a tad bit too long for how we played it, I guess. But yeah, went a little long. You tell me if you've been playing this game and you end it in like an hour, then fine. But for us, it goes on a little longer.
Yes, it does.
You do like to talk.
I learn from the best.
Thank you very much. The best at something. That's kind of all I have. Do you have anything else you want to say about it? Thoughts on it besides final score? Like positives, negatives, secondary thoughts?
No, I don't think so.
If you've played Pandemic, I would love to hear how this is different.
Yeah, I'm curious if it's worth it to
play Pandemic. Yeah, if it's different. Yeah. I think there are only 2 instances in the rule book where it specifically stated this is different than Pandemic.
Interesting.
It was like when the overrun happens. In Pandemic, you actually spread out and you add to other areas around it, like the virus outbroke, and you don't do that in this. So there was something else I forget. So it seems like it's, for the most part, very similar. And I can see how it's like a virus kind of spreading out like Pandemic. But yeah, I would like to know how different it is. Okay, so let's talk about final scores. So now, to answer your question that you asked at the very beginning.
Okay.
Way ahead of yourself. Way ahead of yourself.
That's what my teachers always told me to.
That's because you want to know everything at once. Like you have to take it in pieces and then you'll understand.
I like to know all the information and then we take it piece by piece.
But if you know all the information, then you'll just be confused. Anyways,
I won't. This is how I learn, and you know I learn very well.
Anyways, final score. So for me, a 5 out of 5 is unquestionably we keep it. I actively want to play it. And if you don't want to play it, I'm like, I want to play this. A 5 out of 5 for me. I keep it no matter what your score is, and I make you play it sometimes. War of the Ring, that's a 5 out of 5 for me. Mm-hmm. You hate it.
Yes.
How much do you hate that game?
I would.
I
would pick it over those other two games I absolutely hated.
Okay, Cryo and.
I don't even remember
Kemet?
the names. No.
Was it Kemet?
No.
Anyways, but I really dislike it. So a 5 out of 5 for me is like no matter what, like I'm keeping it and I'm gonna make you play it at least once a year. Mm-hmm. At least once a year. That's a 5 out of 5 for me. A 4 out of 5 for me is it's really, really good and I want to keep it. If you absolutely hated it, I wouldn't make you play it probably. Okay. But like I still like would want to keep it. Like I want it in my collection. Okay. A 3 out of 5 is a game that like I really like. I liked. Mm-hmm. 3 out of 5 is the biggest window. It's either like okay or I liked it. Okay. But it's a game that I'm fine not playing, not keeping or not playing ever again. 2 out of 5 is a game that I didn't like. Mm-hmm. It wasn't for me. I don't want to play it again. And then a 1 out of 5 is just a bad game.
Okay. All right, you go first.
Okay. For me, this game is a 4 out of 5.
Yeah?
4 out of 5. I really like it. Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's engaging basically the whole time I play it. Even when it starts to get repetitive, it's still engaging. I really like that we can work together and like tell each other like how we can help each other and all sorts of stuff like that. Just like all the aspects of it, I really like. I definitely want to play it again. I definitely want to keep it. And I want to keep playing it. So 4 out of 5 for me.
Okay, it's a 4 out of 5 for me too. It's fun. It's a good game. Like I want to play it again to beat the freaking AI.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
we gotta beat it. It's killing me.
Yeah.
We can't admit defeat on this.
I would pull this out just like on a date night to play it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I really like this. So okay. So it sounds like we both really like it. So why is it not a 5 out of 5 for you?
I think because it's just so hard that it's not relaxing for me. Like it's not just like a go in like this is a fun game. It's like this is a freaking game I'm gonna win. It's different. Yeah, it's stressful.
Let's get turned up for it.
Yes.
Getting turned up.
You gotta have like little stress snacks nearby.
Exactly. For me, it's not a 5 out of 5 just because of that repetitive issue and that going on a little bit too long. Mm-hmm. If we ever get it to the point we play it enough where like we're done in an hour, this will go up to a 5 out of 5 unquestionably. I think because I really like it. Yeah. I guess I can't say that because it could get old. As we play it more. Yeah. It might get old, it might drop even. But as of now, if we can kind of cut down on the playtime, it would move up to a 5 out of 5. But yeah, solid 4. Okay. I definitely recommend it. And for being able to buy it at Target, like it's a game that you can definitely introduce to people who don't play games. It's not a board gamer's game. Yeah. Or do you disagree with that? I heard you sigh.
No. I just breathe. You just talk a lot. I'm just kidding. No, I agree. I didn't even remember sighing. Okay. I agree. I think looking at it, it looks a lot more intimidating than it is, though. Like, I feel like if you showed this to, like, somebody who doesn't play board games, they'd be like, what are you getting me into?
Yeah. But it looks like a lot.
Yeah, it's not that much.
It's not
pretty
much.
Easy.
And like I said,
it's not easy.
The cooperative. It's easy to learn. It's very simple. Yeah, the cooperative aspect makes it like you can introduce it to anybody because you can just help each other. Yeah. And it's like once you go through a couple turns helping each other, they're gonna have it fine. Yeah. Because it's very simple. It is very simple.
Very simple. Okay.
Cool. Well, let's wrap it up then. So that's it. So not bad. Not bad. 4 out of 5. That's one of our better reviews.
Yeah, it's the first game I've liked in a while.
Yeah, it is. Definitely is. So check it out. You can buy it everywhere. I think you buy it at Target. I think I saw it there. So really good. Check out our other videos. We got reviews, playthroughs. Watch them. Critique us. Mm-hmm. Tell us what you don't like. Be extremely negative.
But kind. You can be negative and kind. Yes, that's what I always tell my kids.
Be positive. Come on. But let us know if we can improve anything. Watch our stuff and hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell.
Exactly. Every time the bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
Yeah, so look at me. I'm giving out wings. Anyways, go out there, be kind, give out wings.